Everything is maybe because of nothing. Hello? Hey guys, what's up? Jesus man, I was talking and then yeah, something was wrong. Yeah, what's up guys? What's up guys? One night's here. So we're gonna start in 5 minutes. I'm still waiting for some people to join the Discord. Yeah, we're gonna talk about getting bullied. Did you ever get bullied? Oh, I need to change the title again because did you ever get bullied? Question mark, question mark. Okay, that's better. So yeah, just enjoy the music and we're gonna start soon enough, I guess. I'm just waiting for people to join. We start at 4 o'clock as always. Yeah, that's about it, mate. So yeah, I'll talk to you guys later. Like only 5 minutes, alright? Enjoy the music. Hey Gabriel, H90, thanks for the follow. We're gonna start soon, 2 minutes. So just enjoy the music. Yo, what's up guys? Welcome to the new episode number 14. We're gonna talk about being bullied. So yeah, interesting topic for today. We had a really good feedback from last week talking about accepting yourself and the challenges you had in the past. My name is Warren Knights and I'll be the host for today. I'm here with the only one, the boys, the admins from Oberon Kingdom. Can you guys introduce yourself?
Thanks for start. Hello there, I am the Weed. I just do videos, gaming videos on Oberon Kingdom.
Yeah, but your microphone is kind of bad right now.
Can I bully him for his microphone messing up every single time?
Okay, wait a moment. Okay, someone else continue.
Welcome guys, I'm Pentaking, also known as Nakib. Welcome to the stream.
I'm Racco, admin, as been previously stated. But other people call me Jamie, if needed.
Part-time god, by the way.
Nice, cool. And one more.
Yeah, Michelle will join in a minute, so we can just continue with the news for this week.
Wait, did you introduce yourself or no?
I did, the Weed didn't.
What? Is it better now?
I think so.
Okay. Yeah, hello, I'm the Weed, guys.
Alright, cool, man. Good shit. So today an interesting topic. Let's start first with the games and then we're gonna move over to the main topic as soon as possible. So about the gaming stuff, cool stuff happened this week because a new game, do you guys know Fortnite?
Yes.
So a new game came out, like some kind of the same as Fortnite, only it's like it's called Vantella or Valtella or something like that. Have you guys heard about that or anyone who played it before? Valorant. His name is Valorant. The game.
But
Valorant.
Valorant isn't like Fortnite though, is it?
No, it's like
It's
more
more
like
like Overwatch.
Counter-Strike.
It is like Counter-Strike, but did you guys see the graphics or no?
Yeah,
No.
I thought it was more like Overwatch gameplay where you have to like secure the flag and stuff.
To me, it looked like Fortnite, like the skins Fortnite. Like they're trying to attract the young generation, the kids.
So like visually only
Yeah, the graphics.
Fortnite for you, but not the gameplay.
The gameplay is definitely Call of Duty gameplay.
Hello, hello.
Hello.
Greetings.
Hey, what's up?
I'm okay. How are you guys? I low-key just didn't wake up 1 hour ago. Totally not.
I mean, I've been playing TFT till like 8 in the morning.
Oh
and
shit!
then I
How
fell
are you
asleep.
awake? Oh my god, I'd be so tired.
Crazy, crazy.
Yeah, it's dedication.
I am gold now. Yes.
So yeah,
Lol.
welcome, welcome. You just woke up? All right, let's move on. For the Monster Hunter.
That's kind of an answer.
Wait.
That's
What
kinda
did he
an
say?
answer as
I didn't
well.
understand what he said. I'm so tired.
If you just woke up.
Let me see. Oh, we got some new content out. New content. Mahuka Kuka nu Ratusi. From God
fuck?
Record. Did I pronounce it well? Can you pronounce it for me?
Oh, Lord.
The anime review?
Oh, yeah.
Ah, I thought you were like speaking Indian or something.
I was like, wait a minute, what's going on?
I was about to say bless you.
Yeah, it was. I mean, might as well just go by the English name of Irregular Magic High School. Solid.
The regular
It was pretty
Magic
decent.
High School. Alright, cool.
I hope the review was decent for it, but it seemed like a pretty decent anime.
Is it a completed anime or is it just ongoing right now?
I think there was rumors of a second season coming out later this year, but the anime itself finished, I think, the first season anyways, they did in about 2014, then there was a film for it in 2017.
2017. Alright. Sounds fun. Can't wait to read it. Or to watch it as well, mate. So moving on to League of Legends. So League of Legends is, for me, it's already dead. It's a dead game.
True.
Not touching that game ever again.
Disgusting.
I touched it last week with you guys,
Oh yeah, that monstrosity.
and it was the same.
It's unlucky we're not talking about regrets anymore because you could have talked about that right now then.
Yeah, literally.
It wasn't my regret. It was the same. It's the same. It's always the same game. It never changes. It's always the
Yeah,
same.
the thing about League of Legends right now is there's an event going on. So there's an event pass, and I'm basically grinding tokens. And recently, I've been playing with some people who are from Germany, and they have a tactic which is called the German efficiency. And the efficiency basically means you either lose the game at 15 minutes or you win the game before 30 minutes. And if the game lasts longer than 25 minutes, you have to play it out. And that way you
German
can grind the tokens a lot faster.
Yikes. So what can you get with those tokens?
A lot of stuff. You can get like skins, you can get orbs, you can get keys, you can get a special Malphite skin, you can get a special prestige skin, you can get chromas, still a lot of things. And the thing about the pass is the more you play, the more you get, so there's no limit to how much you can get. So yeah, I think Riot did a really good job with those events, and it's really cheap, because a skin usually is like 10 euros, let's say, these days. And the pass itself is also 10 euros. So it's basically the equivalent of one skin, but instead you get like at least 6 skins if you play actively.
Yeah, but you're still paying for a skin.
Yes, but actually no.
Paying for one skin and get like 50.
Yeah, so you're still paying, or am I wrong?
Yeah, it's true. Oh.
Alright, fun. League of Legends. Alright, guys, I think we're gonna move on to the main topic, unless we have something
Before
else.
we do that, 2 weeks ago we were talking about the coronavirus, right?
Coronavirus.
Yeah.
And there were 300,000 cases.
Yeah.
And all of us did predictions. I don't remember how much the wheat said. We did predictions like what will the state be of the coronavirus in a month from then, which was the 21st of March. And I don't remember what Daweed said. Like all of us did something. Daweed, what did you say again?
I said it's gonna be like God in a month, or like it will go down in a month.
Yes.
Okay.
Well, no, it didn't.
War Knights, how much did you say?
I said something about like in the curve will go lower. It's gonna be lower.
Okay. And Jamie, I don't remember if you said or not.
I can't remember. I've got the memory of a sieve.
I think it was a weekend where you weren't available, wasn't it?
I'm not entirely sure.
Anyway, 2 weeks ago there were 300,000 cases. I predicted that in a month from now there will be 3 million cases, and according to the current trend, the 3 million will be reached in 7 days from now.
Lol. No, I'm not.
So,
Your
Like-
response, lol.
like a few days after that podcast, I said I think on the 21st of April there will actually be 10 million cases, and the trend right now says there will be 9.5 million cases. So yeah, this is not looking up, and also the death rate went up from 11% to 21% now.
Which is crazy.
So
Well, fuck.
from the results, 1 out of 5 people actually died.
So I mean 20% out of the world, or 20%.
Okay.
The entire world,
Oh.
basically, like the highest percentage, like 90% of it is still, like probably even higher, is still for people who are like 50 years or older. But it's still like 1 out of 5 people who get it basically die.
Can you link me so I can show it to the chat?
I will
1 in
send the
5
link.
people
It
die.
updates like as soon as like a new case gets reported by country, they just update it and put it on the site. So you can basically see all of it. Yesterday it was 1 million cases. I sent a meme to Daweed about it, about them receiving the golden play button.
Oh god.
Yeah, I mean, like, yeah, they hit million subs now, so that's cool.
Yeah,
I don't think they voluntarily
that was it.
subscribed.
That was 1 million, and right now there's 140,000 cases more since yesterday.
Ah, okay. So it's not it's only cases. So if you have corona, only 20%.
Cases that are closed, basically.
So
So
if you
from
have-
all the cases that there are, from the cases that are closed, like either death or recovered, 20% of them were died and 80% of them recovered.
Yeah, so it's 1,139,246, and 20%, so 61,149 died. Closed cases. All right.
Yeah.
Okay, I was thinking about the 20% are about the whole population on the world, which is not.
Oh no. no.
That's what you said, but it's okay.
All right.
We are 5 people in the call. One of us is gonna die.
One of us will get it.
I volunteer as tribute.
Yeah.
Goodbye.
If we get corona, remember, if we get corona, one of us will die.
That's great. That's great.
I take my chances.
What a very gloomy outlook.
Since we're all inside, that's never gonna happen.
I'm just living my daily life for the past 25 years, so I'm fine.
I've not left the house in close to 3 weeks now. It's horrible.
Mine's always been 2, and I'm losing it already.
Shit. It's like
Yeah.
UK policy. It's smart, but it's annoying.
Mostly because there's no
bad.
more Kinder Bueno,
Oh, that's true too.
and
That's
that's
not
no bueno.
I'll get some next week.
Nice.
So,
But yeah, that's all for the coronavirus.
the K-coronavirus, talking about the negative in the entire world. We're gonna talk about bullying. So as the title already reads, did you ever get bullied? We're gonna talk about the experience we had, and if you didn't have any experience, maybe you can talk about something else. I'm gonna talk. So who wants to start? Anyone who wants to volunteer about it, the past, about being bullied, about getting bullied, or did you saw someone getting bullied?
I mean, I could start this off, I guess.
Go for it. Take it off.
I mean, this was sort of during my sort of primary school years, so not my sort of GCSE years, but I was bullied by someone. And then, in turn, I then started bullying a mate of mine because sort of displacement of the anger. I look back on it now, and I'm not proud of it, and I'm quite ashamed of myself for it in a little sense. But then I remember going into GCSEs, and a mate of mine, you have arguments as you do here and there, but I think it was I think it's like my second year of upper school. These people just always taking the piss. My mate's got a name that shares the same name as an author, Tom Clancy. Not even joking, that's his name. And obviously everyone then started taking the piss. And he used to enjoy writing himself. He used to do it as a pastime, but these people would always try and tear the shit in the room. And I just remember one time just thinking about it. These twats that were just constantly harassing him. I was thinking, this is bullshit. And, he tried getting help about it and stuff, but they just sort of shrugged it off. And it's just really stupid. It's just, don't know. It's not something I look back on with, I don't know, maybe good light.
How old were you back then? And how old are you now?
I mean, I'm 19 now. I think that was around 13 to 14, if my memory serves right.
So about like 6 or 5 years ago.
Yeah, about the same, yeah.
Okay, and so yeah, you basically wish you didn't do that back then.
Yeah, it was just seeing it as well. It wasn't pleasant because he was a good mate of mine. I didn't really have many good mates at the time. There was a few people I knew, and we weren't the sort of popular people. We were the nerds, so we, tried to keep them to ourselves anyways, and it didn't really help out with matters.
Are you guys still friends?
Me and my mate are, yeah. We don't speak that often because he went to college.
Okay.
He went to a different college. I went to a sixth form, so we didn't really speak much to each other. A lot of my mates have sort of done the same, but I can't blame them for it. It's just the way of the world. But I still speak to him from time to time. Tried getting a meeting with him at one point, go to the pub. That never happened.
So you said that you also partially bullied him, or did I hear it wrong?
A little bit, yeah, I guess.
So what were like examples of what you would do?
I mean, he was a ginger person as well, so you'd think he'd get used to it. There'd always be like nicknames. Some of them he was quite aware of. Others I would just think of on the day. So I started calling him Lighthouse for a while. He wasn't best pleased with that.
Honestly, I had a kid in my class who also had red hair, and we always called him Lighthouse as well. I think it's normal, but he wasn't like the bullied type. He was like really chill and everything. He was fine with it. So it depends on the person, I think.
Yeah.
Some of it takes it as an offense. The other ones are like just a nickname, a fun nickname.
Yeah.
So was yours meant, like when you called him that, was it meant to hurt him, or was it more like...
It's more friendly, but sometimes it generally gets to the point where I think once he just pulled me over sort of thing.
Yeah.
Well, I remember one time, I think this was around year 10, 11, so it must have been about 15 or close to 16. He was, this was like, I think it was a little bit before like prep exams, which we had in the summer of the next year. He went to, I think he was having lunch or whatever, and I don't know who it was because I was walking to the canteen at the time. But these blokes like pushed him around, obviously, and he, his meal for the day because he had school dinner been basically ruined, and these twats and started laughing at him and all that sort of stuff. And it was like, I remember walking up to her at the time. I was like, "What's going on?" Then obviously he walked off. I think he spoke to a teacher. I can't remember who. It's a bit foggy on that regard. But I was then having to ask a mate of mine what's going on. He said that these people had, sort of messed him about, and it was just really hard to watch. If that makes sense.
Yeah. If you were on that situation back then, like knowing how your mindset was, would it be any different if we were like standing next to him?
not
Like
entirely
imagine
sure.
imagine the person that you were back then instead of who you are now. Would it make a difference, basically?
I mean, I don't know. Maybe if I was the person that was back then, and I was there in that situation and saw it, I'd probably flew off the handle at the people that messed about with him. Because I was a lot more of an aggressive person during my school years, as much as I'm not proud to say it.
Do you
And
consider
if
you
you-
wait a second? Do you consider yourself a bully?
When I was younger, probably, but not now. I keep to myself.
All right. I know we talked about this last week. Do you regret it?
Yeah, yeah, I'd definitely say that I regret what I did when I was younger.
Have you apologized to your friend Jamie?
Yeah, I've apologised to him about it in the past. It was, I think, yeah, this was about a year ago. This is about after we got into sixth. He went to college, I went to sixth form. I remember having a chat with him because I was thinking about, stuff as you do. And I just said to him about, so I wanted to just sort of apologise to people in the past and, try and, I guess, feel like a tone, if that's the right word, for how I'd behaved a few times.
Yeah, yeah.
And I just wanted to make it that sort of clear.
And did he explain to you what he felt at that time, or no?
Not too much. He said he was cool with it. He was sort of, that we're mates, and he said that you shouldn't worry that much about it. He said you're probably over worrying about it too much.
All right. Okay, I understand. That's a good
So if you could go back as the person you are today, how would you have handled it differently?
What, the bullying or speaking to him about it?
More like seeing that he was getting bullied. Like, what would you have done differently?
I would have probably tried to have done more because I think at the time I was a bit timid. Like I was tempered, but I was too timid to, if that makes sense. Sort of. It's like I wish I could have done more than what I did.
Yeah.
So I just sort of watched it because when I went into upper school, I was obese, and the people that basically harassing and bullying, they were all the sort of athletic kids, the jocks, to put it in a weird way. And I was worried that if I tried intervening, was I going to get then harassed? So I wish I had sort of intervened instead.
Yeah, yeah. I understand. You're just trying to protect yourself, which is, I mean, you're still a kid, dude. You're trying to protect yourself. Peer pressure, their friends. You want to be the cool kid. I understand that.
I've never wanted to be the cool kid, as per se. I was the quiet sort of nerd type, but I just didn't want drama or like conflict at the time. Because I was like, hang on a minute, because there was about 7 of them, or like there was a good large number of them. I was thinking, if I get on the bad side of these 7 people, that's 7 people I'm going to have to worry about when I'm walking through classes. 7 sort of people that I might have classes with, and then have to worry about them in those lessons. So I was just trying to avoiding it, keeping my head down.
Interesting. Okay, keep that in mind. We're gonna move to the weep.
I think he died.
All right, then we're gonna move to.
No, I'm here. What the fuck?
All right, then we're gonna move.
Fuck you.
He's
I
the
think
one.
he
He's the
died.
one who
All right,
died.
then we're gonna move on.
So the weep, are you there or no?
Yeah, I'm here.
All right, cool. Yeah, man.
Okay, yeah. Fuck you, Nikki. This is an example of, like, this is probably the only experience I have with bullying Nikki, pretty much, but it's not bullying, really. No,
yeah, when you wrote the message, like, you don't really have anything to talk about concerning the topics, I was like, what have I been doing for the past 3 years then?
Well, that's considered bullying if you don't mean it, right? Like actual bullying.
Wait, I
So, yeah.
don't mean it.
Oh, okay. In that case, yeah. No.
But I continue.
Yeah, I can't quite write it because I didn't have that.
Your mic is doing.
It's doing a thing.
Fuck.
Okay, it's back
okay
to
now.
normal.
Nice. Yeah. No. So I didn't have that much experience with bullying in my school. So
Oh, no.
You need to speak up because it keeps
Fuck.
going off.
ah. It's gonna be me 5 minutes struggling.
Yeah, all right, man. We're gonna move on. Figured your microphone. We're gonna go to King of Kings to figure it out. The weep. So
Yeah, I
King,
think it's back actually. That.
King of Kings. Any experience bullying? Did you ever get bullied? Have you bullied someone, or did you saw someone getting bullied?
I've been thinking hard about it for the past 2 weeks, and I actually have a few things that came to my mind. I think I have like 2 stories that I want to share though, because those were like outstanding compared to the others. The first one would be my personal experience with it, like how I felt myself. It was 10 years ago. I was 15, and basically in high school we have 5 years of high school, and it was like from 12 to 15 I was in a class, and I basically had like the same classmates every single year, year in year out. I had the same friends and everything was great. I remember like having a lot of fun, and yeah, I was just enjoying high school a lot. And then in the 4th year you basically have to select a professional level of education. So you have to choose like which direction you're going. Is it like history? Is it technology? Is it science? Is it whatever? And I basically chose the electronics department. But most of my class, like maybe from the 30 in my class, 28 of them chose the other direction. So another technological, but the cultural / economical side of the studies. So there was basically me. Doing technology, and one other kid from my class who also chose technology. And then in the 4th year, the classes basically got separated based on your profession. And I got into a class with everybody who chose electronics. And that was basically me, the other kid that I didn't really speak too much about, and about 20 new faces. And yeah, I basically was in that class, and I was basically, because everybody already had their own friends from the 1st till 3rd year. They made their own friends. They were sitting together. They were eating together. Pause, like during the breaks, they were hanging out together, and I was basically left alone in that situation. And I'm not really one to merge with a different kind of a group, because during my high school, I always had like just one friend, which I would hang out with most. Like I had friends in my class, but there was always like one kid that you always hang out with. I'm not sure how it was for you guys.
Yeah.
It was
But
the
yeah,
same for me too.
For me, it was like one person who I hang out with like 95% of the time during high school, and 5% of the time with the other kids in the class. But basically, because I had 2 friends from the 1st to 3rd year, but both of them were in a different class than me. So I was basically alone in the class when I was 15. So I ended up sitting alone, and I wasn't shy, but I was also quite silent, because as 15 I was going through puberty, so my voice was like cracking and everything. So I didn't like to speak, because whenever I said something, they would be like, "Could you repeat that?" or like, "Could you speak up?" And it annoyed me a lot, so I just eventually didn't even bother saying anything at all. So what it looked like was me being really shy and always sitting alone in the class, and people would basically uh, think of me that I was just really shy and alone and didn't really feel like talking. And there was one guy in my class at that time, and he basically made fun out of it and was like, I basically would like appear in class and I wouldn't say anything at all. And then he would be like the show Phineas and Ferb, where Perry is always like, "Oh, there you are, Perry." Does anyone remember that?
Yes,
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
love that show.
So basically, he would be like, "Oh, there's Barry. Whenever I would basically show up and didn't say a word and just sit down. And then eventually the other kids in the class would pick up on that as well. And for like half a year or something, I was basically referred to as Barry. So, like in the first month or something, not month, like first 2 weeks or something, I wouldn't like say anything about it. I would just look at him and be like, okay, like something like that.
Mm-hmm.
But after a while, when, like after 2 weeks or something, whenever somebody would say that, I would always just be like, so the sound that Barry basically makes, and they would end up laughing about it. So eventually, I made it my own. I made it my own nickname. But for the 2 weeks, I didn't like it. I felt like I was left alone. I felt like that kid was bullying me. I was in a bad mood because of the first 2 weeks. I was in a new environment. I couldn't talk to anyone about it because my friends were in a different class. That kind of stuff. So, yeah, looking back at it, I feel like I was bullied during those 2 weeks. But after those 2 weeks passed, I think I dealt with it appropriately because I actually accepted that it's happening, and instead of denying it, I just went along with it. And that made it kind of more fun because whenever I would make that sound, people would laugh and they would actually start liking me through that.
Yeah.
So, yeah, that was basically that story about myself from that time.
How old were you?
15, so 10 years ago.
15. Did you told your parents?
No, I was always the kind of guy that even if something bothers me, I always keep it to myself.
Yeah.
Because, for me, my family doesn't really deal with situations like those too well. It just makes them awkward. Like, if I say I have a problem with something, they just either lecture me or they are like,
It's just a
no,
phase.
you should. Have you considered stopping feeling bullied? Something like that.
Yeah. That's the same as Jamie, I guess. You want to protect yourself, right? You don't want to have to make a big trouble about it. Okay.
It's not about protecting myself. I just didn't want to bother, and it wasn't like
Someone
that
else.
huge of an issue. It was. I never had physical bullying because I'm not sure how it was for Jamie. Did your classmate get physically bullied, or was it only verbal?
It was more verbal.
But physical was also involved then.
A little bit, I think. Like I say, with the incident with his food and that, I think there was that.
Yeah. For me, I've never experienced physical bullying like I would see in movies, where, for example, the fat kid in the class gets tossed around and stuff. Those things, I've never seen that happen, or I've never experienced that myself.
The one who bullied you, right? What's his name? Or we can just call
Stefan.
it Alex or something.
Stefan.
Stefan. All right.
Yeah.
Have you talked to him again, or did you ever talk to him about it?
Actually, we went to the same fitness place after high school was over, and we actually ended up finishing together for a while. Yeah, things became really cool. After high school with my classmates.
And stuff. Did you ever talked about it, about the face? The weight classes,
No,
the face?
I kind of just left it in my past. I just left it there and never opened up about it.
All right. Keep this in mind. We're gonna talk about this later, and we're gonna move on to I guess Peanut.
So for me, the only time I can think of was back when I was probably really young, younger than probably 9 or 10. But this is more a racism incident because when I was in school, in primary school I was a bit more outgoing, but I was friends with everyone. Our whole class was really good friends. I was really lucky in that sense. And then when I moved to high school, I went to an all-girls school. And there I met one good friend that I'm still friends with now. So she's my best friend for 10 years now. And then I made another friend in the first year as well. And we all just stayed together. We all just stuck together. The thing is, I'm really oblivious to things. So I think I said I wouldn't have known if I got bullied, but I think you know if you got bullied, right?
It depends,
yeah.
honestly. Like some people
How did you
are
feel at that moment, at the time?
I felt fine. Like at the time, when I was 10, this is when I was with my parents and we were walking back home. There was just these. This is in the area of Bootle. It's quite rough, and there's a lot of what are they? These boys wearing tracksuits that hang out around. Chavs.
I dare say chav.
I think it is. And there would be, I think there was like a bunch of 6, and they all came to me and they started pulling my hair. And that happened a few times when we walked to school. But then that was the only time, though. That's the only time I could think of that I felt really shared. And then I remember seeing the same people again, but this is like a few years later. And it seemed like they still had like the same appearance, same clothes on, and I felt like they didn't grow as people, you know what I mean? And I was like, these people are just insignificant. So I just raised my head up high and just kept on walking. But during school, however, I was pretty like reserved to myself. I would just hang out with my friends. Our friends never had any drama with other people, even though it's a girls' school. You'd think stuff happened, but I mean, yes, I saw other girls get bullied. Like there was times when people, it was more friendships. Like they thought their friends were getting taken away from them. Like there's times when girls would be in the bathroom stalls crying because they think their friends are being just taken away from them, stuff like that. But for me, I'm really lucky. I didn't really have that much of an experience, even in university as well. So yeah, I'm sorry, guys. I don't know.
Okay, that's fine.
That's fine. That's totally fine.
That's
We are
fine.
happy for you.
Thank
We're
you.
happy for you that you didn't have to get through that.
Because I bet it felt really, really bad. That's the thing.
Alright,
I know.
so you never experienced some kind of trouble when you were a kid? You feel insecure, or you felt like you didn't feel understood by someone? Never happened.
Because I always stuck to those 2 friends, and they were like as weird as I was. We were all into anime, and yeah, we go to conventions together. It was some good times.
That's really interesting, actually. I'm gonna talk about it later on. The Weep,
Okay.
is your microphone all right now, or no?
I hope it is fine.
Alright, dude. Take your shot, mate.
Yeah, so no, I didn't get bullied either in high school or anything. That's the only. So like I think like I bullied myself more than others.
Oh,
No, it's just like it was like I did all the the stereotypical jokes on myself,
yeah,
and no one else could do that than to me
that's good.
because I put myself so low. Like
Oh,
okay,
come on.
no one can do that now, right? So I just made fun of it, so that was cool.
That's hilarious.
I remember that when I met you like 5 years ago or something. The first time we called, you had like a really Asian accent, and I wasn't sure if you were faking it or like actually doing it. Like you were telling your brother like, "Tua, your mother is calling you," like something like that with a really
Mother.
Asian accent. Your mother is and then you would revert to your normal English accent. Your mother is a very nice.
Your mother is a no.
But yeah, it's true that you've been bullying yourself a lot, and like you would always make fun of your eyes. But the one time where I felt like you weren't really making fun of yourself just to be funny, but there was a time where you were like you feel like you're fat or something. I think it was like 3 years ago or something. I don't remember.
3 years.
Yeah, it was like after we went to LCS, you were like, I'm fat or something, and I was like, bitch.
Which where?
Wait, so you were like,
Bitch,
yeah,
where?
like.
Grab him by the ear and shit, just like, what you saying?
Meanwhile, you have people who are like actually obese who are like looking at you like, bitch.
Nah, I'm fat.
Alright, so you were bullying yourself because you were Asian.
No, I don't think it's because I was Asian.
The way you said it makes it so bad, though.
That's how what you got out of
It's like
it.
not because I was Asian, It's like I took everything I could get bullied for and I jumps out of it.
And being Asian was part of it.
Quick maths.
Mm.
Big brain time.
Interesting. Really interesting. So, are you fat, by the way, or is that too far to ask?
No, he's not.
I'm chubby.
He just thinks he is.
I'm chubby.
No,
Well,
he,
that's quarantine. Okay, that's what.
he thinks he is. All right.
Thick.
Oh god.
Okay, hold it right there.
Oh no.
All right. Anyway, let's keep moving. I think we all have our own stories. We have 20 minutes left, so there's something that I'm hearing constantly, or at least I'm hearing actually the same. Well, I mean, at least kind of the same for everyone who gets bullied or ever got bullied or saw someone getting bullied. Did you guys notice something?
We're
Well-
quite reserved. We all keep to ourselves. Is that what you said? Is that
Yeah.
is that what?
Yeah. Well, as for you, Peanut.
Yeah.
So you found a way to be yourself, right?
Yes.
Am I correct? Because you're your friends, you are the same. So you never felt like you needed to be someone else,
No.
which is fine, right?
Yeah.
For other people who didn't have that, those people were alone. Am I correct? Just for
yeah.
I mean for the ginger guy. I mean I don't know his name. I'm just gonna call him Jimmy.
Lighthouse.
He's called Jimmy. So Jimmy was
Call him
out.
Graham. Just
Yeah.
Graham is the name.
Graham.
So Jimmy didn't have any people. Jimmy had no friends, people with the same characteristics, red hair or
Yeah.
something. The same goes for the King of Kings. He was new, and he was alone. And I guess for the Weep, I mean, nothing.
It's a special case.
Okay.
Well, actually,
I'm
the
gonna
Weep,
be
the Weep was
special.
actually he was okay with being alone. If I'm correct. Am I correct?
Oh yeah, I was fine.
Because
Yeah.
it sounds like you didn't care if you were alone. But yeah, we might talk about it later as well. So yeah, that's actually the same. Actually, the same factor for everyone who gets bullied. You feel alone, you feel not accepted, and you feel unwanted. In this case, for you guys, let me tell you a quick story about me, since you haven't heard about me. I'm gonna talk about the physical bullying, since that happened to me. So, physical bullying. I was in high school as well. That was my last year in high school, and in high school you go to the gym. Everybody goes to the gym, right?
Yeah.
No.
No. But yes. Carry on.
So
Yes, but actually no.
So I was in our only all guys class. So there was only a bunch of men, high testosterone and everything. And at some point, I'm not gonna show you the background of the whole story, but at some point we went to the gym, and yeah, we always changed together and stuff. And what happened at one point, the lights turned off, and I got beaten in the fucking gym while the lights were off by all the people in the gym.
What the hell? That's so
Was
fucking
that in the
awful.
Netherlands or
It's in
somewhere
the
else?
Netherlands. It's fucking. It was in The Hague.
Damn.
And I got beat up. Yeah, it was fucked up. It was fucked up. So I actually got beat up, and after the beat up, I had to go to the gym and just. Yeah, at that time I didn't tell anyone, but everybody knew I got beat up. So all right, and we played dodgeball and whatever. And then after that day, I finally told my mentor or my teacher. I told, hey, listen, I called her. I was home and I didn't go to school. And I called her, listen, this happened. I got beat up by these people. They actually turned the lights off, and I got into the, when you go to the shower and stuff, those lockets.
Yeah.
I got into those lockets, and I got beat up in there. And I told her the whole story, and she was like, oh my God, what the fuck? I cannot believe this. I'm gonna talk to the whole class, whatever. And she did, and for some reason, the police came as well.
Oh my god.
The police
Okay.
came as well.
Okay.
And at that time, all right, I don't know. At that time, I felt like it made it worse.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Made it even fucking worse because now the police came and they're trying to protect the whole school. Knew their security guards at my school and stuff. And they told the security guard, and everybody was like watching me. So at that time, dude, I skipped school for 3 months.
Wow.
3 months.
Because you couldn't. What the hell?
Not because I was scared of anything. Only because I didn't like it. I didn't like being there. So that happened. But also the same story as Nakib, King of Kings. I had no friends and I was alone. All right. So it's actually the same stuff. So which we have all in common. Yeah. Does that suck? So that's about the physical. That's about the physical. I mean, you have emotional, physical, and what else? Emotional, physical, loneliness, and depression.
So, same
Yes.
question to you
It's not fun.
in that case. If you could go back to that situation, how would you have done it differently?
So at physical, you cannot do anything because it depends on someone else. Okay, you
So,
can,
what actually triggered them to do it to you, basically?
so I saw.
Do you think?
Yeah, good question. Good question. I don't know, mate. I mean, everybody's insecure in those times. I mean, we're only imagine being in a class where there's only men, and the testosterone is running high, and being the strongest or the king of the jungle feels good, right? And the rule of the jungle is whoever.
Always going through laners.
Well, yeah.
Jesus.
The one who
Get reported.
the one who is
Let's-
stronger.
Back to the
The one
theory.
who is the one who is stronger. In this case, the one who is fat always wins. So you have to act like you're fat, or you have to act like you have more items in League of Legends terms, right? Yeah, and I'll be honest, I couldn't do anything about it. I was just in the wrong time, wrong timing, wrong everything, I guess. Because at that time I didn't care about making friends at that time. And you're asking why?
Did you see something like that coming, or was it like out of the blue? Like everything was fine 25 days of the month, and then like it suddenly happened or something?
Good question. So I never saw it coming, and the reason why is because I never talked to these people. Well, I did talk to them. I never hang around with them because I'm gonna be honest. Those people in my class were, those people who were like talks and shit. Those were those people, mate. Those the people who were like always fighting. There was always a fight, but we're not those. They were always fighting. And yeah, that happened. I was gonna say something else, but I forgot, dude. Fuck. Fuck, I forgot. Well, whatever. So that's a good question. I never saw it coming. And I'm gonna be honest as well. I think it was they didn't purposely turn the lights off. I think someone just accidentally put it off, and then from there it became wild. So Wild West, mate. Wild West. And that happened. And all that came from just being alone, loneliness, I guess feeling secured. I think that's a good topic as well. If you ever do you have any insecurities for I think we could talk about that for the next week. But for now,
I mean, this insecurity for my situation was my voice. As a child, I had like a really, really soft voice, like every kid ever, basically. But when I was going through puberty, my voice didn't like only crack; it just like disappeared most of the time. So if I would say something, people would just not hear me because it would hurt to speak loud. So I would just be really silent, let's say, and that made me really insecure
yeah,
at that time.
yeah. And I think the same goes for Jimmy. Jimmy was insecure because of his red hair. Am I correct?
Oh yeah, Graham.
I'm not. The thing is, people can accept themselves for how they are and what they look like.
Yeah.
But the moment that the others don't, it's what makes life hard. And this is why I hate the current social aspects of the world, where everybody is forced to fit in, and if they aren't like themselves, they only have one other choice, and that's to be bullied.
Well, you have to understand as well, the people who usually bully other people are the people who have a horrible childhood. So let's say those people who, at least what I think, those people who bullied me or bullied you, they had a rough thing going on in their homes. They're being hit on, or they're being called loser or whatever, and which they reflected on someone else. And that's how bullying happens. There's always some kind of experience they reflect themselves to someone else to feel better because their life sucks. I mean, it happens. So I feel like it's not about. I think it's more about parenting and more about the experience you had. So the next question is, since we only have 10 minutes, how can you be able to feel confident while you're being bullied? Maybe Peanut can talk about that since she's
Being confident. I definitely wasn't confident. I think I was really shy as well. I'm not gonna lie, I don't even know how I made friends. Do you know that feeling? You're just like,
Yeah.
like how
How
did I
did I
make these
get
people my
here?
friends?
Wow.
Yeah, literally, how am I even here right now? I guess in my sense, just how do we call that's a really I don't know. Because I can't say I'll find people who have similar interests in you and then just try to focus on the good things rather than the bad. I can't say that because it's kind of hard when you're really shy.
Distraction does help with it, so now and then. Getting new hobbies and just focusing on that 24/7.
true. And in this case,
I,
playing League of
I was,
Legends.
yeah. Oh yeah.
So Jamie, do you
think-
maybe
Yeah, let's go, Jamie first.
Yeah.
What?
So Jamie,
Um,
let's say, do you got the question or no?
no, I'm just trying to think sort of how to feel confident during that.
Yeah.
Because let's say, it's hard. Because
Yeah, it must be so difficult.
I don't know, it's really because it normally reflects on your personality. Let's say some people become withdrawn from people and stay quiet. Others, when they've overcome it, sort of thing, become the most outgoing people you'll find.
Mm.
But it's finding that line of when you can accept yourself, which is that first step, I guess. But then,
Yeah.
it's like you were saying before, is that some people don't accept you, but you accept yourself. So then they, try and mess with you because of it. It's
What?
I think that's a good point though. Trying to accept yourself first, but it's gonna be hard when people are throwing you down.
So to accept who you are.
Yeah.
yeah,
I'll be honest about that. As a child, I wish I wasn't like with a background from Bangladesh, for example. I wish I was just Dutch, so I wouldn't be that basically be different than the people in my class.
Yeah.
But I think I started accepting it like as soon as high school was nearing its end, where I was like, it really doesn't matter what I look like as long as I'm like happy with the way I am. Everything is fine.
What do you think, the Weep?
I think I also was kind of ashamed of, like how different I was because I was the only Asian kid in my class. But as time went on, I was just like, yeah, okay, it's cool to be different, It just like it gives you a different perspective on life as well.
So accept yourself is what you're saying. That's your tip or no? The Weep.
The thing is, Mike is doing the thing again.
I think that's what he meant though.
Yeah, think so. Let's move on. Hello?
Yeah.
Yeah. Also, second thing is also, I think it's really important, and I think it's gonna sound cliche. Seeking help. It's a very important part. Talking to other people about your problems and being understood, because that confirms that you're in the right and that you're not being alone. In this case, for those people who were alone and felt like they were out of the circle, seeking help and talking to someone else. It doesn't matter who, if it's your mom or your teacher or whatever. Just seek help. Do you agree with that or no?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes and no. Yes, as in, yeah, it will definitely help with easing the pain from it and like feeling bad about it. But no, because seeking help and like talking to professionals or your parents or teachers or something is not gonna make them stop doing what they're doing basically. And if they get approached by it, it will only make the situation worse, because a kid that is being told don't do this, they'll end up doing that more than
Yeah.
anything else.
They do get aggravated, don't they?
So yes, it does help ease the pain, but no, it doesn't help the situation long term. I think that the best thing to do in that situation is like accept the fact that it's happening, accept that there are bullies, and to help yourself, it would better be just to accept that it happens and know how to deal with it. For example, somebody's like calling you names, just smile at it and just smile, accept it, and go along with it, because that will eventually give you more friends than if you are just silent and let it happen, basically.
Do you find they thrive off your reactions? The
Huh?
bullies. Like the more
What
you
did you
take
say?
in, the more that you're affected, do you find that they will, from your experiences, I don't know how to word it. Like,
The more it happens, the what?
like the more you become, the more you're affected by it. So let's say you give the more reactions, you know.
Yeah.
Do you
So
find, do you
the
find
more
that
you're affected, the less you
yeah.
react to it. Yeah, that's true. As in, if you're not affected by it and don't feel bad about it, you're just gonna laugh it off and just let it be.
Yeah,
But
you're
if
gonna
it's
be
like actually bothering you, you just turn silent and you just don't know what to do anymore, because nothing's gonna make it stop for some reason.
Well, I think the Weep had a good point about making a joke out of it. So being positive, like, all right, this is funny. I think so. The first step is gonna
Weird way
be,
to cope with it though. It's like it's not for everyone.
yeah, it's not for not everyone. By the way, this is not professional advice. All right, if you're having trouble at school or you're being bullied, go and seek help. We're just random people on the internet. Just saying. Disclaimer. So the first one, accept yourself. Second one is seek help. And the third point was what Nakib said was, what did you say? The point you just made?
Except that it's happening and shake it off. Not shake it off, but go along with it. Find a way to make them stop bullying you, let's say. For example, in my situation, they were at first, when he like said Barry, it was meant as an insult and just to hurt, basically just to make fun. But the moment I like adapted it and played around it, he suddenly basically, or like they basically saw that I am fine with it, I am having fun with it. And from that moment on, it just, whenever they say Barry, it doesn't like it isn't meant anymore as an insult or just to make fun. It's more meant just to laugh about it together rather than laugh at me about it. If that makes sense.
Yeah, it makes sense, dude.
For example, with the weed, we all call him the weed now, and at the moment he like accepted that he's the weed.
What
We're
do you
not-
mean?
I can I cannot I cannot like say the weed and like think, aha, if I say this, it's gonna hurt him. For example, I cannot say like gay weep either and be like, oh yes, if I say that, it's gonna make him feel bad or anything. I cannot bully him with that anymore because he basically accepted it and is making a joke out of it himself.
Yeah. Acceptance.
So when we say gay weep, it's never meant as a bully anymore, but it's more meant as just another nickname.
Yeah.
It doesn't really mean anything anymore now, and that's the thing about bullying. If you accept it and just deal with it, it doesn't become bullying anymore because, the purpose behind it is different.
So yeah, I don't think you should say that to everyone. I mean, your closest friends who you can trust, because some people just have issues being self-confident and being accepting themselves, which is always not fun. So let's say if you are gay and you're still in the closet and you call them, hey, gay weep or whatever. I mean, it doesn't sound fun for the guy who's actually gay, even though you just.
The weed, are you still in the closet?
I'm not talking.
No, not really.
Okay, move on.
Wait, I was inside of a closet.
So for those people, so yeah, the first thing is accept yourself, seek help, and can you close it up? Just acceptance. Accept what's happening. So good. Do we have a floor?
Yeah. Actually, a really good example just happened right now. I said, the wheat, are you still in the closet? So this was meant as, this was meant to just make fun out of the wheat, right? I said that just to make fun out of him. And his response to it was, I was ever in the closet. So the response basically like made things funnier because he accepted it and went along with the joke. So the joke didn't like turn on him. It turns on a joke for both of us to laugh about it together rather than me laughing about him.
Yeah,
if that makes sense.
That's true. That's pretty true. I mean, for the people who don't have that connection, or they feel like
even if somebody doesn't know me, if somebody would come to the weed and be like, wait, you're still in the closet, and he would reply the same thing, they would definitely like laugh about it instead of laughing about him at that point.
I mean, don't forget that some people don't have that much confidence in themselves. So this is
true.
Just don't forget that. Just treat each other with respect is also a good thing to do. Always.
It's 2020. Let's get rid of the hate.
Treat yourself as you want to be treated as. So guys, I hope we helped someone today. For the people who are watching right now, I hope we distracted you from those heavy times, those lonely times. And if you want to talk to someone, you can join the Discord, the Oberon Kingdom community. Can always help you. I mean, there was a guy who was an admin and he had trouble with his family. We talked to him. We're always happy to help. Am I right?
Yeah.
Yes. See.
Cool. So love the community, love you all. Thank you for watching episode number 14.
14.
14, yeah. I hope everything is alright with you guys, and I hope you find your goal and you're not lonely anymore by playing games or whatever your hobbies are. Do you guys want to shout yourself out?
Go on. Does the weed want to go first?
With my shitty mic? Yeah. Well, but it's my stuff on the Oberon Kingdom YouTube channel. So, you should check it out. Okay, go next.
Shout out to the Waits mom. She's a very lovely lady.
She's a very nice lady.
Oh, that's so random.
Tell her hi from me.
Oh my
She doesn't
god.
know.
That sounds really
Oh my god.
weird.
Abort mission. Okay.
That sounds really weird.
That does sound weird.
Yeah, abort mission. That's what I told her when she gave birth to Zoe.
Oh my
Jesus.
god.
I was
You
never
will call me
blind.
stepfather from now on.
Enough of this has gone to a turn for the
Sorry.
worst.
You will call me stepfather.
Oh my god.
Funny fact, she didn't know she was pregnant with me like 3 months in.
Wait, what?
Yikes.
Yeah. She didn't know.
Oh, she didn't know?
She didn't know like 3 months in. And like,
Oh.
go to the doctor, like, oh, you're
Oh.
pregnant.
Another
Wait,
doctor.
what?
Or another engineer.
Oh my god.
So Jamie, can you shout yourself out?
Not that I can think of off the top of your head. Like I said, I don't really. So I'm always about on the server if people want to chat. I'm always down to chat. I guess that's about as much as I could shout out or read the stuff I've written on the website.
Yeah, same here. Nothing else to say other than I'm sorry I couldn't contribute much to this, but I really tried hard to think, and I guess I don't know. I guess I was just so oblivious that I just lived my life in my own little bubble.
We can
How
bully you
could you?
till next week.
Listen here,
Yeah.
you can't do that.
We can bully you until next week, so you
Yeah,
have
we'll just
something to
bully
talk
you.
about next week.
Well, good luck doing that. Okay, good luck.
Alright. You can follow me on the Oberon Kingdom community in the Discord. You can also follow me on Twitter, KillyDodge, Instagram, and twitch.tv/warnights. Thank you for watching, and till the next Saturday, we're gonna be here with the same cast, same people, and to help you. So, see you later.
See ya.
Bye.
Later.